Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting, you'll spend it and be broke again. Stop wasting time on some nonsense and instead put it in a lesson. I know it's boring, but it's worth it at the end. I know.
Last week on Where We're Investing.
I also went down a bit of a rabbit hole on Zillow recently.
So you're looking into real estate, you're saving tons and tons of properties.
There is one in Blue Ridge that I feel like I just need a tour. What I've spent the most time looking at probably is just the metro Atlanta area. But I was expecting to have to look at like 350,000 and less, just because that's kind of how the market is. But, if I can get one for 130 and then renovate it, I could, dump some serious money into a renovation at that point. I have a really nice mountain house.
Okay, so quick numbers.
A lot of boring math later.
But switching over to you in real estate, I guess you're just about finished renovating the house you have in Florida. I know you got some yard work stuff that you and Chase want to do, but do you want to go into a brief description of your experience going through that, like searching, buying, renovating, if that was super difficult, if you do it again, kind of thing?
Oh yeah, so quick story, I guess, to sum it up. Chase got a job offer in South Florida. Like I told Taylor, I think we're closer to Cuba than Georgia.
Yeah.
But basically we're far down here, and I knew I wanted to buy another house. And this was a great excuse or a great reason to get into the next house, kind of force me out of my comfort zone and start looking. However, the difficult part was I wasn't down here. So to Taylor's point of wanting to tour a house, I was still working in Georgia and still closing up everything I had to do in Georgia, and we kept that house in Georgia. Mm-hmm. But we had to figure it out where basically Chase would go on all of these tours. And so she went on all these tours and basically FaceTimed me throughout the whole thing.
And she loved that process.
Oh, she was not my friend in the end. Because I'm sending her to these houses that are obviously, as me wanting to become an investor and an entrepreneur, I'm looking for houses that need work, not a move-in ready house. So she's going to sometimes not so good areas. She's going to these houses that are pretty gross, pretty nasty, or she's just tired by the end. I think we toured, it was like a 3 to 5 month process, and we toured 20 to 50 homes, or she toured 20 to 50 homes. So she was about done with it by the end.
Yeah.
But I have family down here in South Florida, so she stayed with them. We didn't have a big cost in that aspect, which was nice. But basically, we found this dumpster of a house for the most part. It just was a super old house, and it needed a ton of work. My market value estimates were it was going to cost over $150,000 renovation. However, because of being in South Florida, it was worth a ton of money, and it was such a cheap deal because it needed so much renovation. So ended up making an offer and didn't go through. We lost the house. Someone bid over over what I had cash offer, and so they took it. So then we keep looking even further, and then we ended up stumbling upon a house in this area that we're in now, but it was across the street from the house we bought, and it was move-in ready. No renovation needed. So Chase wanted it, and she was ready for it.
Of course.
But I'm like, Chase, there's nothing investment-wise that this appeals to me. It's nice, which is not a good thing. I'm like, this isn't what we want. So we'd be paying top dollar for something we can't benefit us. Across the street is our house now. Piece of trash house that she didn't even want to go in. The real estate agent at the time with us, he kicked the door open and said, have fun, because there's cockroaches falling off as you open the door. It was a bad house, man. It was bad.
Yeah.
We ended up reaching out to them. I'm going crazy every day calling people trying to get funding, but since I have no real good prior experience, nobody wanted to do a hard money loan. So I ended up finding a private loan and getting it under contract. We closed right before the end of the year, and we just moved in a couple weeks ago, and man, this place is looking great, and just got the appraisal done, and we're expecting good things. And the plan right now is we forced all this value that we did a cash out refi, and we're gonna take all the money out that we can. We're gonna pay off all of our loans and fees, and then we're going to also have a check in our pocket for the next house. And that way
Yeah.
we don't have to get a private loan for the down payment, just for the renovations,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just for the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a ton. I learned the places to buy certain things. You cannot get really into this by just going to Home Depot and buying everything. You have to know people. You have to have some kind of material discounts. You got to have people you do favors for, so that they do favors for you. I learned all about the good materials, the bad materials, the guy that's been kind of helping me out, that's been teaching me everything, man. He's been doing it. He has a ton of doors. He's been doing it a little while, but his big thing is do it once and do it right. And basically, that's the fact of he comes in and he guts it. New plumbing, new HVAC, new floors, new kitchen. He does everything, so that upfront cost is significant. But
Yeah.
over the course of 40 years or 20 years, you won't have any problems. No plumbing leaks, no electrical problems, no HVAC problems. You don't have to replace anything. So he can sit comfortably for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. No roof replacement. He goes premium stuff too, so more
Yeah, yeah.
expensive. So again, it lasts longer and you don't have to worry about it. And then it's kind of truly passive investing. You just take the rental income.
Yeah.
So
And
that was not something I ever thought. I thought you just fixed what needed to be fixed and moved on.
yeah.
So that was a huge process, and I loved it. And it got me more excited to get into this field and to invest in real estate, seeing this transformation. It was
Yeah.
just a huge.
And it was a lot of
overall.
major renovations, right? Was your house always a 2-2, or did you guys change anything square footage wise and all
No,
that kind
we
of thing?
knocked down walls. We gutted the electrical, gutted the plumbing, did the whole. Not a single thing is staying the same. I guess except the crawl space. New floors, moved walls, added square footage, added bathrooms, added closets, added the new roof, new attic space. Everything's brand new. Everything.
Yeah, jeez.
Like a project I never would have thought I would take on, especially this early. My second house ever. But dude, again, learned so much and got me that much more excited.
Oh yeah, just jumping in sometimes the best way to learn. And it's good that it
Exactly,
actually
and-
worked out well. You know, you can learn some stuff in the losses, but it's even better when you can learn some stuff in the wins.
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes it more enjoyable when you can learn in the wins instead of taking the defeat and the losses and then just keep
For
pushing.
sure.
But you gotta, dude, I want to keep doing it more and more now that I've done this. And so this refi should be finished up before the end of the month. My current goal is to get another house under contract, start in renovations, finish renovation, and hopefully rent it out by the end of the year. That's my goal.
You want all that done by the end of the year.
Yeah, it only took us 3 months to less than 90 days to flip this house, completely renovate it through and through. So I think if we can renovate it through and through in 3 to 4 months, and then just finding a renter, which I don't think would be terrible,
No.
I think it's doable. It's going to be a hard goal, but I think it's doable.
Yeah. And are you looking in that same area that you're living right now? Kind of a similar house situation?
Yeah, I was telling you right before we jumped on this call, dude, I love investing right in this area. And
It does
in
seem
Florida in general.
nice.
And and there's just so many cool different aspects of investing down here that I love it. And I like this area we ended up in. It was just that I'd never heard of the city we were in until we started looking at houses.
Yeah.
But now that we're here, I don't mind going outside the city, but I do like, if I could find something in this neighborhood, I would definitely do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
visited Ryan a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, right? Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
house was like 99% complete at that point. I think there were a couple minor doors that needed to get replaced or fixed,
Yeah.
but yeah, nice looking house now. The area that his house is in is on the up and up. They're doing a lot of renovations. A lot of things look like brand spanking new. Like you drive by their
City's redeveloping
city hall.
everything.
Most city halls that you drive by is like that old red brick building that's got like
Yeah.
stains on the outside. This is like a brand new area and everything. A lot of like
Super
renovations and remodels around that area. So yeah, Looks
And
like a
only,
nice area.
less than a mile. We walk straight to the beach.
Yeah.
Like right by the beach. Big
That's
deal.
always nice.
With a chunk of land too. We're just under a third of an acre in
Yeah.
South Florida, which is a big deal if you don't know. If you haven't been to South Florida, usually they're on top of each other.
Oh, yeah.
If you light a match
Most
in
places
one,
in
they'll all
Florida.
catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any real city or beach area in Florida, it's hard to find land.
Exactly. So that's another fun part about investing down here. But that's kind of my main part of my focus right now is real estate, single family, in this area. Trying to find a good deal, but when I'm looking for deals, the rent has to, I guess roundabout guesstimate rent from what I'm seeing in the area has to cover all expenses, so PITI. Then it has to cover vacancy. It has to cover repairs, CapEx repairs. It has to cover landscaping. You don't have snow in Florida, so just landscaping. It has to cover everything, and then I still want to be able to make at least $250 profit every month, minimum. So that's kind of what I've been looking at, and that's what I'm going to try and find in the next house coming soon.
Yeah, and I like real estate investing. Like, if you guys have been following along, see that I've been kind of going into the crypto NFT space just because I don't want to learn about it, but that's a dangerous space. And a lot of the investments that are like hype centered, which NFT crypto is at the moment. Crypto, I guess, a little less than NFTs, but it's dangerous, man, because you can have anybody right now is kind of just buying an NFT and everything. And when your investment is so dependent on these people that, I'll be honest, are kind of just there for a quick flip.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of there for the get rich quick thing. It's more of a dangerous thing, and it's exciting to learn about and get into, but it'll oftentimes lead to a bit of disappointment. Real estate, on the other hand, is for those that I feel like are really in this, because, you know, not everyone has the funds to buy a house, nor do they want to undertake the responsibility and project of buying a fixer-upper or any type of house, really.
For that reason, it's almost got its own safety net.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's harder to get into, and you pretty much need you do need a lot more knowledge to get into it. So it's got its own safety net that keeps a lot of, I'll just throw money at it, kind of out of it. Unless you have so much money to waste or blow, you just do it anyways. But the random Joe Blow can't just throw money at it and go, I'll throw money in this space, and then it ends up blowing up or things don't end up doing well. And it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's ways to make money quicker, but it's a long grind and a lot to learn and constant learning and people you got to meet and know and you got to grow, versus, like you said, NFTs and crypto for the most part are based on hype and based on like they're not backed by anything. There's not a wide acceptance yet, so I have small exposure to it. But like you said, real estate, one, it's got its own safety net built in, but also I like real estate because, like you said, in times of recession, you don't go and buy virtual coins and stuff and currencies. You're going to want physical assets, because say the US dollar implodes and it's worth nothing anymore, your house is still worth something. The value could drop, but it's still worth something because it's a physical asset. Just like materials, during times of recession and bad times, you want to buy real assets and you want to buy materials, things that are constantly going to be used. So for that reason, it's kind of more valuable, and it, like you said, holds its value, and that's why it's my favorite, and not just in terms of monetary value, but also, I guess, physical assets. I had most of my portfolio is completely, or most of it's real estate, and then I had some exposure in cryptocurrency, and then I would say like stock market, index funds, stuff like that is my next largest asset.
Tune in next week to find out more about where we're investing.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting, you'll spend it and be broke again. Stop wasting time on some nonsense and instead put it in a lesson. I know it's boring, but it's worth it at the end. I know.